Hey everybody, this is Meyer, and what I want to do in this video is show you how easy it is to write melodies using intervals and a tiny bit of music theory. These are particularly melodies for trance and generally any form of EDM, but hopefully it helps you in your compositions. So this is going to be the melody that we're creating in the video. I'm recording this after the fact. Check it out. Cool, let's go ahead and make this thing. Basically, the easiest thing is to understand intervals, because when you're making these melodies, you're going to have, in the basic sense, in the most basic case, you're going to have some bass note and some top note. So you're going to have a low note and a top note, and they're either going to be playing at the same time in the case of plucks, or in your leads or other types of plucks, you can have them alternate. So the best thing to start off with first is start off with a sound that you find really inspiring. I'm taking a sound that I kind of modified from I think this is from the Reveal Sound Trance Bank, the third one, and it's just a key sound. So what I want to do, you want to get a rhythm and you want to get some combination of low notes and top notes. Now, if you don't have an idea of what you want to do, first of all, think about what key you're in. And there are plenty of videos on music theory and keys, but what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to do C major, so it's going to be all the white notes starting from C all the way up to C. And then what I'm going to do is come up with some sort of chord progression. So maybe in my case, it'll be and then have it repeat. And from there you can start playing intervals on the top note that alternate. Now, let's say you don't have any idea of what intervals sound good. The best thing to do is just start with one that you think may sound good with all of them and start by penciling it in. So I'm going to actually use what's called a ninth. This is a more complex interval. Your common intervals that you're going to see are like a third, maybe a fourth, or a sixth. Really kind of just depends. So to play a ninth, you first start with your first note, and you count up the scale 9 notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's basically like playing the note and the note next to it, but you're playing those an octave higher. Now what I'm going to do is record those intervals, the ninth, playing alternating on the lower note and the top note, and I'm just going to record that, and then you can see how easy it is to build a melody just from these ninth intervals. So take a listen. So, recorded this, I'm going to go ahead and quantize it with Control or Command Q. And I want to make sure that these are actually on the grid that I have. So basically the way I played it, it plays like that. So want all these notes to be the same length. Sometimes you can play around with the length. It can be pretty cool. But let's take a listen to what I recorded. Notice actually that these are all ninths, because if I put them down here, they're playing the note in the scale that's one note above the note. So if we just consider the white keys, and I think I have automatic note grid highlights. So you can see I'm doing note grid highlights here, so you can see what the notes that it should be playing. Now it thinks I'm in G major, but you see C and then the D up above, A and then the B up above, F, the G up above, and G and the A up above. So actually bring that back up an octave. Let's take a listen to what this sounds like. So you want to make sure when you play your melody, it naturally flows back to the start. And I made this basically all from just that interval, that ninth interval, and transposing it around. Now, one thing, if you notice here, when we get to this last part, it really wants to, in my opinion, resolve. So take a listen. So take that, and I can just hear it. It wants to go up to the B. So take a listen now. And from here, you can have some fun. You can start moving groups of notes up and down to really make things really interesting. So let's say this one, it makes sense maybe to go up to the E. This one up to the C. This one up to the A. And maybe something like that. So take a listen to what this sounds like. Just playing with this. Sounds pretty good. We can make things more interesting by just moving some notes around. So let's just take a listen. And maybe here it makes more sense to go up to the B first. So then what you can do, you can take this and duplicate it and then make changes to the second part. So maybe what would sound good here is going up. And down like that. So let's listen to the whole thing. Cool. Now this is more of a pluck sound, and I'm going to route it to the mixer. What's really going to complete this is adding this on top of a lead. So I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm just going to go ahead and pick a lead sound. I'm going to just go through my Spire bank, which I promise you guys this will be out soon, and I'll have a link to that in the description. That sounds good. And I'm going to copy this over. Now, right now, this doesn't sound like a big trance ARP. So what we need to do is fill in every single gap in these notes. So what I'm going to do here, fill these in so that there's a note hitting every beat and there's no gaps. Like this. And because I have these ghost notes enabled, which you can do with view, helpers, ghost channels, I can see what the pluck is doing on top of the lead. This is actually a lead. Oops. And go ahead and copy that over, and then I know the bottom notes in the second half are the same, like so. Go ahead and route this to its own mixer channel 2, so that they're on separate ones. So let me close this. And you get the idea. So hopefully this video was helpful in just basically showing you how you can start with some basic interval and from there create a melody for your next song, and hopefully it's a hit. See you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.